Good afternoon and welcome to the History Corner. I'm Mr. Historian.
Hi, I'm Little Historian. Today we're here to talk to you about voting amendments.
Since the Constitution was signed in 1787, there have been 27 amendments made to it. An amendment is anything that is added to the original to give or protect rights of the people. Most people are familiar with the first 10. Then there's ones like the 13th that abolished slavery, the 14th that said rights could not be denied based on race, and there's even one that reversed another. The 21st Amendment overturned the 18th's prohibition on alcohol.
We're going to talk today about my two favorite amendments, the 19th and the 26th.
So, why those two?
The 19th Amendment gave everyone the right to vote, no matter their gender. Before, only men could vote. Many men didn't want women to be able to vote. They were afraid that it would tip the balance of power. Most of the opposition came from the southern states. Did you know Wyoming was the first state to allow women to vote and had the first woman governor?
I did not.
Many states had guaranteed women the right to vote, but it was not guaranteed by the Constitution.
Women had been seeking the right to vote for a long time. In July of 1848, a group had gathered in Seneca Falls, New York to present the Declaration of Sentiment. Some of the early leaders of the movement included Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and even Frederick Douglass, an escaped slave. Abolition and suffrage often went hand in hand. The amendment was introduced in 1918 and again in 1919, and it all came down to Tennessee and the vote of Harry T. Byrne, a 23-year-old Republican whose mother convinced him to vote yes.
Never doubt the power of a mom.
Indeed. The next year will be the big year for this amendment. It will be 100 years old on August 18th.
It still took a long time for the rest of the states to catch up. Can you believe Mississippi didn't ratify until 1984? Over 60 years later.
That's Mississippi for you. So tell me about this 26th Amendment. Is that the one that says everyone on Facebook is an expert?
What? No, the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age from 18 to 21.
No, I knew that. I was just testing you. The 26th Amendment was in response to the protests over the Vietnam War. With the draft going on, men as young as 18 were being sent to fight in an unpopular war that they had no say about.
In 1970, Congress voted to lower the voting age as part of the Voting Rights Act. But the Supreme Court said that this would only apply to federal election, not state or local ones. It would take an amendment to the Constitution to lower it for every election.
Because of the upcoming elections in 1972, people who supported the amendment wanted it to happen quickly. Amazingly enough, the 26th made it through the ratification process very fast. It passed the House in March of 1971, and by July of 1971 it had state approval. Richard Nixon then signed it into law on July 5th.
I wonder if there were people back then that thought someone in high school couldn't be mature enough to vote as they do now.
I'm sure there were. That was the biggest argument against the amendment. But a lot of people felt that if you were old enough to go and fight and die for your country, you were old enough to be allowed to vote.
I can't wait to vote. I will be 3 months shy in 2020 presidential election. So close!
I know. You can't wait. But remember, your local elections are every bit as important, if not more so, and you should take every opportunity to vote.
True. So those are my favorite voting amendments. The 19th, which gave everyone the right to vote, no matter their gender, and the 26th, which means I can vote at 18. Join us next time for the History Corner.